Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First up, CNN's Jake Tapper actually called out a Democrat for the government shutdown. You know it's bad when Jake Tapper sounds like he's filling in for Sean Hannity. Then, Gavin Newsom says he's moved on from trying to get on Joe Rogan's podcast. Nothing says I've moved on like going on national television to explain, in detail, how much you've moved on. Next, Don Lemon tried to insult Megyn Kelly by saying that she looked trans. Progressives love body positivity right up until they see a blonde Republican. And finally, Bill Gates now says that the world isn't ending from climate change. So climate change is not the end of humanity, just the end of Greta Thunberg's career as a child prophet. Then we go on to the comment section on the segment we did about Brandon Johnson being triggered by the term illegal aliens. What exactly is his approval rating? And then on the segment about Obama getting upset with Nancy Pelosi, what book was that from? We have a lot of books out there. Kamala's book, Karine Jean-Pierre's book. I don't have either, but I'll tell you which book it came from. Okay, let's dive in. The Democrats just lost CNN on the shutdown. Things got heated when CNN's Jake Tapper called out a Democrat for blaming the White House instead of her own party over the shutdown and SNAP funds. Watch how forcefully Tapper says, yes, it is.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children by the White House.
This is also, Congresswoman, this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is.
That was the most aggressive we've seen Tapper since someone ruined his favorite sweater vest. If the DNC loses CNN, their next press conference will be on the Weather Channel. Gavin's acting like Rogan's the ex who blocked him. Gavin Newsom says that he has no interest in appearing on Joe Rogan's podcast and that he's moving on.
By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest.
You're done with him?
Joe Rogan's the Facebook of podcasting. If he has a big audience but he doesn't have big enough confidence, I didn't go there, to have me on.
Well, you've called him a chicken.
In the unwillingness for a guy like that to even have the common courtesy to attack someone and not have the decency say, you know what, why don't you have a chance to come on? Let's have a civil dialogue. I've watched you.
You can almost hear Gavin screaming into the mirror, I'm not obsessed, he's obsessed. He's been publicly begging to go on Rogan for months, and now he has no interest? That's not moving on, that's the 5 stages of rejection. We're currently at stage 3, begging on CNN. Don Lemon said what about Megyn Kelly? Former CNN anchor Don Lemon is being called a hypocrite for insulting conservative commentator Megyn Kelly by saying that she looked trans.
Megyn Kelly, my final words, kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
Let's end on that note.
She looks, she looks clockable.
Clock it.
Clockable.
Wait, give a...
Do you know what clockable is?
Clockable, in transgender slang, a person who can be recognized as transgender.
Yeah.
Well, Don, say what you want, but at least she doesn't get confused for Joy Reid. Bill Gates just admitted that the world isn't ending. He just discovered what your uncle at Thanksgiving has been saying for years, and it only cost us a few $1 trillion. In a recent memo, Bill Gates wrote that the Doomsday view that cataclysmic climate change will decimate civilization is wrong, and that people will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future. He also said this.
We have to frame it in terms of overall human welfare, not just everything should be solely for climate.
Bill Gates wrote a book called How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Apparently, the sequel is, just kidding, we're fine. I'm sure the farmers who sold their land to Gates for climate reasons will be thrilled to hear the good news. And now on to the comment section. So the first segment we're talking about is about J.B. Pritzker and Nicole Wallace, where they said, you know, we've never called President Trump Hitler before. Just completely insane. So we had this comment, actually Don't see a username on this, but if Pritzker's lips are moving and there isn't a Twinkie between them, he's lying. Okay, then on the segment we did about Brandon Johnson, where he got triggered by the term illegal alien and just acted like a complete psychopath and avoided the question, of course. We had this comment from MaidenFan83. Is Chicago running a contest to see which mayor can be the dumbest? I think they might be, because we had Lori Lightfoot before Brandon Johnson. What is going on in Chicago? Just, I mean, to get one of those kinds of people as your mayor is insane. To get two of them in a row is just bonkers. I don't know what's going on. Okay, then we had this this comment talking about how Brandon Johnson responded in that. MK2 Mod 1, Step 1, pretend you don't understand the question. Step 2, avoid the question, which is exactly what happened. He didn't want to answer that. We have this from Jeep Jake 6969. Illegal aliens and legal aliens are the actual terms, as Wes said. Johnson's 6% approval rating is shockingly high to me. And that's where I thought, let's actually look to see what his approval rating is now. And I did see that 6% is actually real from a poll that was done. This is in February of 2025. So just earlier this year, from Colorado Politics, nearly 80% of Chicago residents disapprove of Mayor Brandon Johnson. 80%! 80%! That's hard to fathom. The poll from M3 Strategies found that nearly 80% of Chicagoans disapproved of Johnson's job handling the city, with just 6.6 approving and about 12% having no opinion. So that's what it was back in February, according to this poll. And I checked to see what the current polling is or something more recent. I did find this from the Chicago Sun-Times, that past his term's midpoint, Mayor Johnson's job approval rating stands at 26%, this survey shows. And this was from August of 2025. So according to this one, he is just crushing it all the way up to 26% approval rating. Why do they keep electing these kinds of people in Chicago that are just so terrible? I don't understand that. Okay, then on the segment about Obama, where he kind of blew his lid at Nancy Pelosi when she endorsed Kamala, and he said, "What the F did you do?" Someone asked, what was the new book that had that information in it? And it actually wasn't Kamala Harris's book or Karine Jean-Pierre's. It was this book from ABC News correspondent or anchor, Jonathan Karl. He wrote this book called Retribution. Here's kind of what it looks like. I'm not selling this book. I'm just trying to answer the question as to where this came from. And this is actually a picture of the guy, Jonathan Karl. You've probably seen him on different talk shows, but he's the one who wrote the book that had that little nugget in it. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.